There was this elementary school that we used to hang out at, me and these guys that we used to ride together. And we used to go, like, cut open the fence, and there was these banks in the school that skateboarders used to use, and we used to use them with our bikes. It was when pool riding first became popular.
I met Slash, I was at a little elementary school riding my skateboard.
Just this kid on a skateboard went flying one day.
It fell off and hit my head on the ground. It was a good 7-foot drop, too.
The ground came rushing up to meet him at such a pace, I was like, oh, this guy's got to be wounded.
And he said, "Are you all right?" And I said, "Yes." And I met him in school. My teacher was chasing me around the room and chased me into his room. His teacher was yelling at him. And
that was right before we ditched the entire 7th grade together.
And then after the class was over, we got together and sang King Tut on the 3rd floor railing of the school, right on the edge of the little railing. And the teacher came out and freaked, and we were friends ever since.
That's how we met, and we've been friends ever since.
I had a guitar and a little amp, and I invited him over, brought him in my grandmother's bedroom, showed him with 1 chord and 1 scale, put my Kiss record on, did all my Ace Frehley positions.
Izzy was Izzy since junior high, you know, Isbell, Izzy. You know, and I remember he had on his sheet behind his drums, Izzy! You know, it was great. And everybody knew him as Izzy.
Everybody's name kind of suits them.
I had it since I was 2. My parents gave it to me. I don't know how they came up with it, but it stuck. It's my name now.
Bonehead?
Yeah, Bonehead.
A friend of mine's dad used to call me that whenever I came over, my best friend. I used to come over and he'd go, "Hey, Slash," and it just sort of like stuck.
Axel came along as the name of the band, which my friend used to write down. My friend Dave Lank wrote down names of bands. Him and Mike Staggs and Roger Miley. And we always thought of names of bands, and he had this page of like hundreds of names they thought of for names of bands. One day they called me up and they said, "Got a name for a band, Axel." And like, I don't know, world was coming down on me in my house. And it's like, I answered the phone and I was like, "What do you want?" And he goes, "We got a name for a band, Axel. How should we spell it?" And I was like, AXL, click.
I grew up in the music business. I grew up pretty heavily in it. So I always had, from what I can remember, I always had a real fascination with it. You know, it was just, I loved the environment and I loved the people and I loved equipment, you know, and things to mess around with. And like, anytime we go to rehearsal, I'd be on the drum set or a guitar, any of that stuff I've always had an affection for.
We had the Bailey Trio. Me, my brother, and sister, and we worked out 3-part harmonies, and we'd get up in front of church and we'd sing like some gospel hit of the 70s, a little bit more rocked out than the actual hymns, you know, but I was like the bass then, you know, I was like, "One more time, Jesus, lift my heavy burden." It was so much fun. It was really weird to think about that. We looked so geeky.
My mom tried to get me to take piano lessons, which I couldn't stand. And didn't last very long. And I think I played harmonica recorder, you know, that flute-like thing, in 5th grade or something, which I wasn't really into either. A little bit too lightweight an instrument.
My family is a pretty musical family also, so I'm the last of 8 kids, you know. So basically, it's like my mom just said, "Just do whatever you want to do," you know. So I did it.
Welcome to the jungle. We got fun games. We got everything you want. We know that it's all the people that can buy whatever you may need. If you got the money, honey, we got your disease in the jungle. Welcome to the jungle. Won't you bring it down?
He'll be very quiet and stuff most of the time and really won't let a lot of himself out until he picks up the guitar. And then his heart and soul seems to pour out through the guitar.
Oh, I practice every day. Every day, all the time. I have a set at home. You know, I have it in my backyard. Thank God. You know, it's not soundproof enough for my neighbors, but, you know, either which way. It's great. I love playing. I have to play every day.
I never, like, sit down and practice my bass, you know? So like halfway through the gig, I finally get warmed up because I never sit there before the gig and play the bass, you know. When we're on tour, I get a lot better, you know, because I'm playing every night. But when we're off tour, it's like the thing gets dusty.
Hey, what's it with you, man, and this garden?
I can't do those woo things that Rod Stewart does, like in Hot Legs and stuff, no matter how hard I try. Voice teachers ever, I can't, I don't know how to say what it is I can't do. That bugs me to death.
Man, I wish I could sing. I can't. Scream real good, though.
See, I was never really a bass player at all. I was always like a guitar player or a drummer or something. And joined this band, played bass. Now I love playing bass, you know. I've gotten into like the next stage. Okay, you can't play bass, but how well can you play?
Didn't own anything, you know. We didn't have cars, we didn't have anything, you know. It's like, what, you mean I gotta have to change the oil? I mean, you knew that, but you never had one of your own. The maintenance is, I mean, Slash has like called me at times and gone, I got this house and my refrigerator's leaking all over the place and I feel comfortable just leaving it that way. But I know I can't do that because this is my house.
I mean, I'd never even had a car before. I'd never bought a car before. And so actually being able to go out and buy a car, you know, it was pretty cool.
I own a car now, you know, which is something, you know. My name's on the registration.
I got a nice car, bitchin' car.
The guy's intense. The guy's way intense. He's got a driveway around this place. He's got like 5 acres in this pond and everything. He's got this driveway around it, so immediately he goes out and buys all these go-karts and stuff for all his friends so they can get drunk, and all the neighbors are just like going, every house is for sale around Izzy's house now, and nobody can touch him. It's out of the city limits. They can't, you know, then they go outside and he's shooting off his AK, and it's pretty tense.
You can come into my house on a given day and find a snake in every room.
I got 2 dogs, 2 Chinese pugs. Little dogs. They're really Benson and Buzzer. I love my dogs.
Pythons and boas, emerald tree boas, and reticulated pythons and blood python, and Burmese python, and carpet pythons, and African rock pythons, and anacondas, and all this stuff. And then I've got I had like a bookcase that I converted into another snake tank that's got tree boas in it and stuff. It's cool. It's a lot of fun.
I have 2 dogs. Yeah, 2 yellow labs. Yeah, Chester and Chloe.
Well-trained.
Well-trained dogs, yeah.
The band wants me to bring Torque on tour because he's fun to party with, because he's fun. The dog is fun. He's this little dog. He tries to attack Akitas and things. He's 4.5 pounds. He'll get bit in half. But he's like gnarly, and he's fun. And they wanted me to bring him on tour, and I'm like, who's going to clean up? And they went, well, that is a problem, you know. And it's like, I'm like, I can't do it. There's no way.
Play something else now.